Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Studies shows that there is an increase of people wanting to travel abroad, and also those who just want to travel maybe for study, maybe for work or for business or for anything, as long as you are coming or traveling out of your country. And it is 2023. The year is still young. You still have a chance if that is your dream to travel out of your country or to go abroad, whichever reason. And I want to share with you my top 10 saving tips so that you don't spend a lot of money while traveling. I know it is very hard to actually say that you won't spend any money while traveling. We all know that when you are traveling, there are so many things that are required. For instance, visa, for instance, food, drinks, and other stuff, documents, and other stuff that are needed when you are traveling. In today's video, I'm speaking with regard to those people who are maybe in their local country, they don't earn a lot of money, but they are willing to go or they are willing to spend some money to travel abroad and start a new life or a new career or study or do a business venture or something. So let's dive in and look at some of the top tips from me that you can actually use and help yourself while traveling so that you can spend less and also save more. The very first one that I highly recommend is you looking for cheap flights. There are so many flights that actually offer their services at a low price compared to other flights. For instance, if you're coming to Turkey, there is a flight called Pegasus. Turkish people will kill me. This flight, I find it so cheaper compared to Turkish Airlines. So instead of actually traveling in a flight that offers almost similar services, but they are higher, why not use a cheaper flight and go wherever you are going? So that is a tip for you for the first time. Now, number two, and by the way, when I speak abroad, I'm not just referring to, let's say, to other continents. It can be within your continent. Let's say if it is in Africa, it can be still in Africa, or if it is in Asia, still in Asia, or if it is still in Europe, be European countries. Now, another tip that I want to share with you is actually for you to use another alternative apart from just using planes or flight. For instance, if you use a bus, for instance, let's say you want to go, which example will I use? Maybe I stay in Izmir. I want to go to Istanbul. Instead of taking a flight to Istanbul, I can take a bus. And I know it can be tiresome and also it can be longer hours, but it's gonna save me some money instead of using a flight. And by the way, did you realize that Turkish flights here, they are cheaper compared to other countries? I don't know, within the country, it's so cheaper to travel. So if you are considering traveling abroad, maybe in another country, let's say you are a Kenyan, you want to travel to, let's say, Uganda, or you want to travel to Tanzania, instead of taking a flight, why not use a bus and go there? And especially if you love to travel or to travel longer hours, just use a bus. If you don't want a bus, you can use a train. If there is no train, you can actually substitute the flight thing, or you can substitute the flight with another alternative. Number three on my list is actually to stay in a budgeted accommodation. Like if you're planning to spend some, let's say $200 per, not even per, okay, $200 on your accommodation, try to stay within that budget and also find a cheaper hotels or maybe cheaper Airbnb or hostels or whichever place or a rental place whereby they are not charging more. Try to stay within your budget. If you plan a budget of $200 on your accommodation, try to stay within that. Don't go or don't travel abroad and then you see or you meet other friends who are actually staying in maybe a very well varnished or classy hotel, and then you want to be in that group knowing well you don't have money. And I'm not saying that you should not mingle. I'm not saying that you should not do these things. But what I want to tell you is actually to stay within your budget or within the amount that you can afford. Do not fake it, or especially if you are abroad, do not try and fake to please another person, okay? Now, another fourth tip that I want to tell you, or I want to try to tell you to save money while traveling, is actually to try as much as possible to eat in local restaurants. Do not be that person who is like, oh, I want to be in a first class hotel or a 5-star hotel, and you just know very well that you don't have that much money. Try as much as possible, go to these restaurants. You can actually check, or you can actually find friends or people within that local place or that place that you are going, and try to eat their food, their cuisines, and try to see if it is actually good for you, and save money on that. Don't go, maybe they are selling in a fine 5-star hotel, they are selling, maybe let's say I'm gonna use Turkey, or I'm gonna use Turkish tea. Maybe they are selling, let's say $10, and then in a local restaurant, this tea is given for free. By the way, in Turkey, did you realize that when you visit local restaurants, one of their best way to actually welcome you is actually to offer you some tea, especially if you buy food, they're gonna actually just offer you for free, or some sweets or some Turkish coffee for free, and they won't charge it, and they won't actually put on or say that you have eaten or you have done this and this. So try as much as possible to eat local food in a local restaurant, and that is how you're gonna actually also learn their local cuisines, and if it is delicious, well and good, okay? Another way of saving money if you want to travel abroad is actually to consider volunteering works or jobs or organization. We have these programs whereby you are actually given you are a chance to actually volunteer to do maybe some task or some work, and they're gonna give you, or they're gonna give you in exchange with food and accommodation. This program, au pair program, especially if you're a young lady or young guy, you can actually travel abroad in exchange of culture, food and accommodation, and that is how you can save money. Instead of you actually coming or traveling from your local country and coming to another different country that you don't have an idea, you can actually be an au pair partner and then know that country or do what you want to do. Okay, so consider doing these kind of programs because they're gonna save you some money. Now, if you're traveling as a student, we have these programs whereby you can actually be given flights, and also on flights you can be given some discounts, or on accommodation. You can actually take advantage of those flights and also accommodation discounts, and then instead of you paying for accommodation or a flight, take advantage of those discounts and use and save money while traveling abroad. Tell me in the comment section, do you think that these tips that I'm telling you, do you think they are good, and do you think that you can practice some of them? And by the way, do me one favor, if you're liking my content and you want to see more, to hear more from me, do me just one favor, like this video before it ends, subscribe to my channel, and let's keep on learning together. Now, another tip for you to save money while traveling abroad is actually to try as much as possible to actually travel during the off-season peaks, okay? We have some days, or we have some months whereby there are off-season, and then people don't tend to actually travel more. Let's say if it is in January, like right now, people, not January is still, it's still considered not off season, maybe in some parts, but we have certain months whereby people are not traveling too much, and you can actually try and use that chance to actually travel abroad and save money while traveling abroad. Now, we have other countries or other places whereby we have programs whereby they are giving you a chance to travel, in terms of maybe you have participated in something, and then they give you a chance, points to actually redeem them, either by using a flight, by traveling, that's what I mean, or by actually going to another city. Instead of you actually paying for your accommodation and flight, you can actually redeem those cards, redeem those points, and actually travel abroad and save some money. This is one big idea that can actually help you a lot, especially in 2023. Last but not least is actually the big one. It should be the number one, but I decided to actually put it at last so that I can elaborate more. Now, this is whereby I'm trying to tell you to save money before you go on a trip. You know very well that you want to travel maybe in a certain country abroad. Instead of just sitting there and waiting for someone to help you, nowadays nobody will help you. Instead, rise up and do something. Look for ways to generate money. Connect with people who are abroad. Ask them question. How did you go to that certain country? How did you like which flight did you use? Which accommodation did you use? Which means did you use? Try as much as possible to get the information and also save money. Even if it is $10, try and keep it just precisely for traveling. That way, when the time comes when you want to travel in a certain country, you don't have to be worried because you know very well that you have some money with you. Even if the prices are higher, you still have money to actually cater for yourself. Another thing I will highly recommend is you to make sure that you are saving your money in your bank. Maybe if you want to travel in, let's say, in next few 6 months, try as much as possible to actually make sure that your account is super active. You are putting money and withdrawing. You are doing transaction each and every time, so that this way it's gonna save you not only by traveling but also on visa issues. Because for you to get a visa in some countries, they require visas, and for you to get a visa without denial, one of the main documents that is needed is bank statements. The bank statement must be on your name. They don't need to be on your father's name or your mother's name or your brother's name. They should be on your name so that people can see and actually know that you are doing something out of yourself. Okay? Otherwise, if you're liking my content, like I said, the only thing I want from you is a like, a support by subscribing and also sharing my video, or hitting that subscribe button is a main thing for me. Until next time again, I'll see you. Bye bye.